I had a request from someone asking me about which kind of books I liked. As someone who is a huge avid reader and was a poor girl growing up, poor horse girl growing up, who couldn't afford a ton of lessons and clinics and stuff like that with different people, I relied heavily on books. Later on, videos, as they became more available. I bought tons of videos. I also went to a lot of clinics and watched a lot, but just found I never, like, I wanted to hear from the masters. And how do you do that when you live in the middle of nowhere, Manitoba? So I turned to books, I turned to videos. My dog is here, so if you hear noises in the background. So I'm going to show you now the ones that I love. I found a lot of these used. The people are cleaning out their stuff, their tack box and their shelves. He chews on his ball neurotically, so that's what you're hearing. So I bought a lot of them that way. I bought a lot new, and I paid a good chunk of money for some of them, but I have to say it was worth it, and it was less than what a clinic would have cost me, so I always thought it was a good investment. Plus, you can go back and reread things over and over again. So that's what I did. So I'm going to show you some of my favorites. As you can see, I have quite a few. Some of them are really, really good. Some aren't as amazing, but I keep them because they're great references. Shh, Dookie, no. And there he goes. And this actually isn't all of them. I have a couple that I pull out for references, and my signed copy of Philippe Carl's Twisted Truth of Modern Dressage. I was at his symposium he had in Toronto when I was for my 30th birthday. I went, and that was my gift. My mom went with me, so it was our little thing. And I got to sit and watch and be involved in everything with him, teaching and training for 3 days. It was amazing. I got to meet him, and he signed my book, and it's actually I borrowed it to a friend in the States, and she's gonna ship it to me because in the move I forgot about it. So, and it's a prized possession, but like it was such a, if you know my story, it was a bit of a stressful blur moving home, a very emotional, draining one, and I can't remember half of what I did, half of the packing. So anyway, it's on its way home. I trust her with it, obviously. It's just that I kind of want it back. It's a souvenir. Anyway, so I'm going to show you some of my very favorite books. And just, yeah, I just figured this might be a good one to. Okay, so first of all, sorry, there's going to be dogs. First of all, I'm going to say The Twisted Truth of Modern Dressage is probably, it's a really great book. That would be number one on my list. I think it's out of print now, so I think it's very expensive online, so I feel really bad about that, but that's why I want mine back. Keep going. So one of the first ones I read was Tug of War by Gerd Hirschman. Highly recommend. It's a beautiful book, and it just goes through so much. And I'm going to say, these are all dressage books, most of them. Although I have some jumping ones, because I did jump for a little bit. But I'm going to say that if you are a horse person, I don't care what saddle you ride in, read these books. Because horse training is horse training is horse training. We're all going for the same thing if you're doing it properly. And yeah, so these are some of my, like, I don't care what you do with your horse. This is what you should, like, this is the foundation. And these people, yeah, they're the foundation. Anyway, the second book that I absolutely treasure and love is, as you can see, it's very well loved, Anya Baron's Classical Schooling with a Horse in Mind. Oh, you can see I have it bookmarked in places. It goes over everything. I've had this forever. I think it's out of print too. As you see, I underline stuff. I studied this like it was a textbook in university. I treated these like university textbooks. That's why I'll never sell them, because I just, like, I will never be done with them. It is amazing. It's a beautiful book. I love her as a rider. I don't care. She's not flashy. She will never go to the Olympics and win. But that's why I love her, because it's so gentle and it's so affirming of the horse, and it's so correct. And I have ridiculously high standards because I grew up on Anya Baron and Philippe Carl. I know I'm a little relentless with that, but I can't help it. We're asking these horses to do so much for us. We need to be that relentless. Now, along with that, she has dressage, classical dressage book. I love this one too. As you can see, I have bookmarks everywhere in it. It is a really good one too. It's maybe not as, this one just goes through everything. And I remember reading this book and just like the pictures and this, I wanted to be Anya Baron. This one too, it's beautiful too. The first one's maybe a little more, I'm gonna say basic in a good way. Like it goes through everything. This is Philippe Carl's other book, The Art of Riding. Another one that I have read and read and read over and over again. It too, like Anya Baron's, is beautiful and basic, and he does beautiful illustrations to show you where the weight should go, how to properly do lateral. I read this thing and yeah, anyway, these are I think these books they're a little bit precious to me, which sounds silly, but this is where I learned the most, honest. And then I took, my clinics with Paula Kierkegaard were huge. But it was a lot of videos, a lot of learning. I have to say I learned more from videos and watching and studying and trying things out at home on my own than I ever did in clinics. And that sounds terrible because I'm a big proponent of clinics, but I think you have to do the right clinics. You can't just jump around and do clinics from everyone. You need to, until you're skilled, you need to focus, because there's so much where some of it's good, some of it's bad. But the bad can sometimes cancel out the good. I know the old saying is you can learn from everyone, but you can get into bad habits. You need your foundation so solid that you go, oh, I don't like that part. I'll take the good, throw out the bad, and it's harder to do than you think. So I was always so careful who I rode with. I will never just go blindly into a clinic. Anyway. I love, you can see this one is so used. I love my Egon von Neindorf. I'm probably saying all their names terribly too, but I'm Canadian, so forgive me. These old pictures are just, it's inspirational. I watch this or read this and look through it. Oh, and that's from when the clinic I went in with Walter Zettel when he came to Manitoba. These books to me, they're so inspiring. They're so inspiring because they're just these are the people who it was at a time, there was a time where horses came first. Now, not for everyone, of course, there's always bad actors. But there was a beautiful, I just love the idea of putting the horse first. Then from some of my other books here, the Eric Heberman book, Dressage Formula. I like this one. I didn't love in the beginning when he talked about not picking a horse who's too heavy, because I was riding draft crosses at the time. But it's good information. It's beautiful information. So that's a really good one. Some of these ones, like I have his Complete Training of the Horse and Rider. Some of them kind of go over what you've already learned, but it's good. It's good to have it hammered home that it's not just one person saying this. This is the whole whole thing. These are my top favorites. Now for more modern dressage, I really love Anya Braun's Effortless Dressage Program. It is not dookie. It's more if you're a little more competition minded, but I do feel like she puts the horses first. Yes, she uses nose bands, and yes, she uses flashes and stuff like that, and she rides with spurs, and I don't do those things, but I do think when it comes to competition horses, riders, she's probably the kindest, most balanced, and I love the way her horses go, Duke, and I love the way she rides. I really do. Now for this other category of books, they're not so much how-tos. as they're kind of memoirs or stories, or I'll show you them, and they are amazing for reading life experience and what people did and how they learned and how I don't know, like problem solving, because some of these books are brilliant, but then you're riding your own horse and they have a behavioral problem and they don't touch on this. Whereas if you read through people's stories and you hear all the different things they did to overcome some of their issues, it's very inspiring, and it can teach you more horsemanship than, like, I don't have a book here that's like on horsemanship, because I find every person kind of who wrote these stories explain everything, sorry, and going, like, you just end up hearing kind of how they solved it, and it's very ingenious. Anyway, this is one of my all-time favorite books. I reread this on the regular. My Horse is My Teachers. I'm not going to even try and say his name because I'm horrible at pronouncing things, but this book, oh, I can read it over and over again. I love how he talks, how much he loved his horses. I love how gentle he was. I love how he tried to figure things out gently. He never panicked. He never got flustered. He never was like, oh, this is a bad horse. Like, this man was so kind and loving to his horses that he just inspires me every time I read it. And I just want to be better. Taking Up the Reins. I don't know if this is still even in print. I love this. She went to Priscilla Endicott. She went to Germany and rode with Walter Christensen back in the day, and I can read this I read it so often. I just love the idea of being so immersed in it and everything, and you know, it was a different time, but just her gumption for going overseas and putting herself out there, it just inspires me. This book, The Great European Schools of Classical Dressage, I adore because, first of all, if you want to be inspired, read look at these, oh, the pictures alone are worth it, but it shows that we can have different schools, but if the horse's health and well-being is put first, if it's priority one, we're all on the same page here. Like, we're doing the same things, that we're striving for the same thing. So we can all be friends, even though we do things differently. Even though, you know, Philippe Carl lifts his hands and gets the horse to chew. Anya Braun does things a little different. But yet, when you see their horses, they all look happy. They all look content. They're sound longer. So it's not even necessarily what technique you decide to do. It's more just like putting the horse's well-being first. There's so many other books here, like even this one on Rancet, Falling for Fallacies. There's so many good books out there, but be careful. Oh, if I could give advice, I mean, and who am I to give advice, but be careful who you listen to. And I don't mean that like, oh, you know, like people are terrible, but to me, horses are an art form. Dressage, all of it. I don't care if you're in a Western saddle. I don't care if you're running barrels. It can be an art form if it's done properly and if the horse's well-being is put first. And then you have to be ruthless. You have to be, not to the horse, of course, that's not what I mean. You have to be ruthless to yourself. You have to say, is this really right? Is this really good? Is this really how I want it? Is this horse happy? Is this bringing out the best in us? Is this doing things well? And these books help me with that, because these people are asking the same questions, and they're giving, like, they're showing a way. So anyway, I had people ask me about books. I've actually had a couple clients ask me, so I thought, well, it's a rainy day today, I'm going to do a video on some of my favorite books. And again, Twisted Truth of Modern Dressage by Philippe Carl should be #1. Books can't replace actual riding, but you need this solid understanding so that when things challenge you, you don't crumble. You don't go back to ripping your horse into little circles, or going, well, I just need a bigger bit, or I just need to pull harder, or his neck needs to be down more rounder. This gives you this grounding, like, no, these people have come before me and are knowledgeable and wise, and they did it. So this is longer than I intended. Whoops. But I hope that helps, and I hope maybe you go out and buy one of these amazing books and you get something out of it. That would be my prayer. And I also treat my riding in that very reverently, in the sense that I feel like God has directed me a lot of the way, majority of the way, and he's given me amazing opportunities, and he's given me guidance, and I still pray before lessons and training sessions and everything, because these are his animals and they're not mine, and I only have them for a time. And I feel like these books are the wisdom that has been passed down, so I need to pay attention to it. Anyway, if you have any questions or anything, feel free to message me.